Cody in the morning. WSM. This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Hey, from the Simply Superior A-Cup House Studio, that's where we are. Where are you this morning? Wherever it is. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Coffee, Country, and Cody all over the world on WSM, Circle Country Television now, where you can watch or link to your favorite streaming platform when you get there. Charlie Maddow's to my right. Kelly Sutton to my left. Amberoni alert. Amber Anderson is in the house this morning. Studio director Annie Nye. Jeff Roberts, rock solid in master control. And Ashley Monroe is first up on the Assembly Food Hall stage with new music here in just a little bit. Can't wait to see her. Going to pack in my pick of the week and a trip to the Grand Ole Opry with Sierra Hull.
Oh.
What are you working on?
Well, last night we celebrated Barbara.
Oh,
these are not the right sunglasses, but they're the only ones that I had. So just imagine if they were more cat eye. But Barbara is alive and well, and we played a lot of her last night at the Grand Ole Opry.
Have you got a pack of cigarettes?
I don't. Oh. Do you?
No.
Because that would, I'd be like, hey, wait a minute.
I'll run to the Citgo across the street and get you a pack if you'll rock them.
Here's what I'm saying. Out of everybody in this studio right now, if you had to guess one person that might have a cigarette somewhere on their person, who would it be?
Charles. Charles.
Just because I brought in candy cigarettes from Halloween back in the day, I think you still got some over there.
So. We probably have some candy cigarettes over here.
Listen, that's not till I'm 70.
Okay,
we'll
that's
pick
right.
that habit back up.
Please don't. Please don't. So last night, Old Dominion was at the Grand Ole Opry, and we got to do an after show with them, and it was so much fun talking about their new album, Barbara is out. And there were some people dressed like Barbara last night.
Oh, great.
It was really, really fun. So we'll do a little bit of that and tell you more about it. Also, Jordan Davis, this is great. He was on his tour going to Canada, and he got pulled over. And the stuff this cop says to him, I swear I thought he was being punked. He probably thought he was being punked too. So that video is coming up. Plus, where you can get lost in Lainey Wilson's eyes this fall.
And Charlie, the only problem with waiting to take up smoking again when you're 70 is you got to make it to 70.
Well, yeah, there is that part. Yeah. Well, yeah, I kind of realized that part myself.
He's very optimistic.
Yeah.
Again, Sierra Hull, All I Ever Need Is You from the stage of the Grand Ole Opry here in a little bit. But right now, here comes my pick of the week with Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
You want to know what Tennessee Lightning looks like at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, don't look too close.
She just got out of glam in the green room. Ashley Monroe, it is good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's been too long. I think the last time was backstage with your girlfriends hanging at the Grand Ole Opry when Shelby Lynn was there, I want to say.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Cook.
And Waylon Payne.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right. That's it. Yeah,
yep.
Good memory. Good memory.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And you've got a new album too. It still has that new album smell.
I know it does. If only I could hold an album like I used to could, you know. But yeah, it came out August 8th. Mm-hmm. So I've been working on it for a couple years, and you know, making all the tweaks and just opening my heart wide open, and then so it's nice to know it's out. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
We actually had album release night at the Grand Ole Opry, which was really a cool place to debut new music.
It really was. It was such a good night. I'm so happy to be there.
So you've been coming to this town since you were a teenage prodigy, right?
I guess kind of. I moved here when I was 15 from Knoxville. Me and my mom didn't know anybody. She'd be like, you need to go over to the Nashville Palace. It's world famous. She would always say, it's world famous. You can get discovered there. Or, you know, I'd go down to Broadway before they started Cardin because I was 14, 15 years old. And I would just kind of ease up and say, you know, do you all know When Will I Be Loved, key of E? And, you know, just try to get discovered, you know. But yeah, someone actually did hear me down there, and then it led to my first publishing deal when I was 17.
Where did they hear you? Where were you?
I think the guy who heard me that like directly kind of plugged me into the system in a way. I was at Tootsie's singing Rocky Top, but I didn't like have gigs. I would just kind of, you know, go in and ask if I could sing.
Yeah.
That was my big plan to get discovered, which
Well,
kind of
worked.
worked. Rocky Top, key of C, yeah.
And you met Vince early on too, right? And
Yeah.
co-wrote and got to be friends.
I met Vince. He called me. I think me and my mom. I think I was probably 17 when I got a phone call from a number I didn't recognize, and it was Vince. And so he had heard something of mine, some demos or something, and I was just shaking. I couldn't believe it. And he said, "You want to go to breakfast?" And I said, "Actually, I might have been 15. I think I was 15." And I said, "Yeah, I want to go to breakfast." And he said, "Okay, see you tomorrow morning." Well, then I had to call him back and tell him he had to come pick me up because I didn't have a license. Yeah. So I'll never forget. He, came down to Brentwood and pulled in the driveway in his old car he's driven forever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it was surreal.
So where did that writing relationship go from there?
Well, we've written a lot of songs that I love. I mean, we've written. We wrote my favorite movie that's on this record, and it's also on one of his records. We wrote a song called "If I Die Drinking" that he's cut. What else? "I Miss You," that the Time Jumpers, I think they won a Grammy on it. He just told me recently. I said, "Are you hoarding Grammys over there? Do I have one over there?" But I don't think I have one yet. But yeah, he's one of my favorite people to write with and sing with and obviously make music with. He's produced 2 of my records.
I was interviewing him at Ocean Way one day, and the subject of the Grammys came up.
Yeah.
I said, "Where do you keep your Grammys?" And there was this long pause, and he goes, "You know what? I've got one in the trunk of my car next to my golf clubs right now." It had come in the mail, and he had put it in the trunk.
I told you I saw one in their bathroom years ago. I went over, they were having an event, and I walked in their little guest bathroom, and there was one on the back of the toilet.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're just, with his and Amy's, they're just kind of scattered all over
Right.
the place. You can find
One
them.
time I went to a studio and I said, "Let me play one of your guitars." I said, I don't want a really, really, expensive one. And he goes, "I don't really have one that isn't really nice." I'm like, "Give me your most expensive one."
Fair. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Ashley Monroe, if you just joined us, Tennessee Lightning is the new album. Brag on this album a little bit. Don't be modest because
Okay.
you've hooked up with Marty Stewart, and T-Bone Burnett, and
Incredible.
Brittany Spencer, and Karen Fairchild, Opry star with Little Big Town, so many others.
The thing is when I was making this record, it's kind of like a patchwork quilt of kind of the stories of my life, and I feel like all of our lives. But I also feel like it was when I was kind of towards the end of making the record, I feel like it was a patchwork quilt of my people. The relationships that I've made in this town, and like my talented friends. I'm like, I never really ask any favors, so I might as well just ask people if they'll be a part of it. And they did. So, and me and Marty wrote "The Touch." That was the first song that we ever wrote. So nobody else can play that lick. So
Yeah.
he had to come.
When did you first meet him?
I met him the first time, I think it was 2007, and I sang for Dolly and Porter. It was at the, I think it was the Musician Hall of Fame, and it was like a thing for them. And he was kind of the band leader and putting that on. And then I also did one of his midnight shows during CRS one time, but we weren't really close until recently when we wrote. It was just like, we just felt like we'd known each other our whole lives. We just clicked. So when we wrote "The Touch," from then on, he's been my buddy. Yeah.
I love that you casually just dropped, "I was singing for Dolly and Porter."
I know. I pinch myself all the time because I think back on all the things I've gotten to do and all the heroes I've got to meet and sing with and sing for, and I'm like, that's making it to me,
Yes.
It really is.
And you got to sing "You Ain't Dolly" and "You Ain't Porter" with
I know.
Blake Shelton.
I know. I know. I love that song. I've listened to that again recently.
That is such a nod and a wink, isn't it?
It sure is. For those who know, for sure.
Well, you know what I love about the new album is the trend lately is to put the album out with 10 or 11 songs, and about 4 months later, come up with 6 more and make me buy it again for the deluxe version.
Right.
And you just put 17 on it to begin with and said, here is the deluxe version for you right away.
Yeah.
So,
But there'll probably be a deluxe too.
well, yeah, with 24, yeah.
Would you
This
like
is
to
better
call this?
value. Better value for your money.
I want
Yeah.
you to get more, bang for your
Sure.
buck every
Yes.
time. Yeah, I love music. I'm obsessed with it. I love recording. Gina Johnson, who co-produced this record with me, she has a great studio at her house, and I would just go get in a zone and just it's so healing for me to sing and to make music. So when we were kind of wrapping up, like, which songs are going to go on there? I'm like, oh gosh, I think we have like 30. Oh, wow. And, I'm like, nobody, including myself, could focus for that long. So I'll just give a little at a time.
17, right?
17, is that right?
Yeah, 17.
Okay,
yeah.
then yes.
And she's a 2-time Grammy winner, right? I think with Jason
Yeah.
Isbell and Chris Stapleton,
Yeah.
right? So what's that dynamic like? What's the magic there?
Gina,
Because sometimes it's the simple things, right?
right.
Yeah.
First off, she's an amazing engineer. Like she'll nerd out on gear, and she's just so knowledgeable as an engineer. So she knows exactly where to put the mic and all those things. But she's also really good at when she can see when I'm in a zone, or when the spirit kind of moves in, and she knows she needs to capture something. Like Jesus Hold My Hand, the last song on this record. Oh,
Thank you so much for putting on those.
I just had to, because I thought that's the whole point. For me, that's my rock. So I just started singing it one day, and she could feel the spirit in the room, and she knows I like to sing in the dark. She'll shut the curtains, she'll light candles, and I'll stay in that zone, and she'll kind of come to me and put the mics around and mic the organ and do that. So she's good at capturing when the spirit kind of enters the mix, which I think that's just such a special gift, to be able to do that, not overthink it, and just capture what's happening. Yeah.
I want to come back to Jesus Hold My Hand right
Okay.
now. We're going to feature Tennessee Lightning all over the world with Ashley Monroe. It's her brand new album. Wherever you get your music, it's there on WSM Radio, Circle Country Television.
Is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And from the Assembly Food Hall stage this morning, we continue with the incredible talent of Ashley Monroe.
Blessed Jesus, hold my hand. I need thee every hour. Through this pilgrim land, protect me by thy cleansing power. Here
So as we were going to break earlier, I said we'd come back to this because that is such a memory, a fabric of a preacher's kid growing up in rural Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
And Albert Brumley's catalog, which in and of itself is extraordinary. He wrote Jesus Hold My Hand, and that's how you close the album.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to you?
So I also grew up in a small church that had, shape note hymnals, and I remember the first time they didn't have like a kids choir or anything. It was like a little church, and I remember I was in the choir. I was probably 4, so young that I remember I had the hymnal upside down, and my aunt Anita would hand me the one right side up, But I remember actually the song was Just a Little Talk with Jesus. I remember getting chills all over my body, like kind of shaking. And when I got down, I told Mom, I was like, something happened. I got these chills. And my mom goes, that's the Spirit. And that just stuck in my mind, because I thought, oh yeah. So those songs always kind of stirred up for me too. And that Jesus Hold My Hand, when I was little, if it would be like storming or had to go to the doctor and get a finger prick, something minimal now, but I would sing Jesus Hold My Hand. But I was at Gina's one day, kind of towards the end of the record, and for whatever reason, I just picked up a guitar and started singing it. I really hadn't sang it in a while. And, Gina kind of rushed in and captured it, and we got Billy to play on organ, and we got Armand Hutton to put his beautiful vocals on it after. And yeah, I feel like that's, to me, it was always kind of, the record was chronological order, and, where I started, innocence, loss, reflection, and then to me it's like the whole point is Jesus Hold My Hand, so I put that at the end.
And it must come back to you back in 2021 when you got your non-Hodgkin's lymphoma diagnosis.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that I definitely got emotional when I was recording this song, because I didn't want to put any songs about cancer or anything like that on the record, because I feel like cancer's taken enough time and space and energy in my life. It took my father, it took those years from me, and I'm like kind of over it. But I will say that that feeling of having recently been holding on to his hand and feeling it, the tangible energy of being held, I think that is what kind of stirred my spirit up in a new way, singing that song this time.
You said the second verse is the one that got you.
Yeah, let me travel in the light divine that I may see the blessed way. Like, that is such a simple thing, but it's such a thing that we should just remember, to just travel in the light, and you really be better off.
Very true.
So
Right.
where are you? Give us a health update.
So I get checked every 6 months now. It was 3, but I just got my labs done a couple weeks ago, and it still looks good.
Awesome.
So they say this kind will never go away, but I'm just going to pretend like they didn't say that.
Okay.
Because
What they don't know, we got
They don't know.
AI now. AI's
Right.
going to fix it all. It's
Yeah,
fine.
right,
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
You've got AI, but do you have the spirit?
amen. There's a difference.
Yes, exactly right. 17 songs on Tennessee Lightning, and you referenced it a couple of times along the way in our earlier conversation, but talk about The Touch, and that's where we'll close.
The Touch was the first song I wrote with Marty Stewart, and he came in with that B-bender guitar, and it was storming really loud that day on the work tape. There is a thunder that is like shakes everything, and you can hear Marty get tickled because I mean you could feel kind of things stirring that day. But he started playing that lick, and that guitar actually one of my favorite movies ever. It's called Daddy and Them. It's got Billy Bob Thornton and Andy Griffith, John Prine. It goes on and on. But all that to say, Marty did the soundtrack for that movie, and he played that guitar on a lot of that soundtrack, which he randomly brought it that day. And so when he played it, I could tell that was what he did a lot of that soundtrack with. But yeah, I recorded it, and because I think it's just kind of a classic love song, and it always just, I don't know, gave me chills. And so we had Marty come over and play on it, and then I'm like, I just want bass, nothing else. I'm like, let's call Shelby. We called Shelby Lynn, and she comes over and plays bass. So that's my band, Shelby and Marty. I'm like, oh, lucky me. But I like putting that together sometimes. Like I said, my pool of talented friends I never ask favors for. I like to ask them now.
Well, they all came together for you on this. Thank
Yeah,
you
they
for
did.
getting up early and coming to see us.
Of course, thank you.
By the way, before you go, who gets credit for the incredible superhero dress on the front cover of the album? That is beautiful.
This whole album, this whole project, I've seen like just images from all the videos and everything of how I want things to look. And honestly, I saw that dress in my mind and found it. It's a vintage majorette dress.
Oh, that's awesome.
I knew that I didn't know if I wanted one of my hands on my hips or just like that, but that's how it ended up. And I'm so thankful that it worked out.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It is
And
perfect.
Kelly Sutton will be borrowing it and
love
rocking it at the Opry.
Love it. It
Make
looks
sure
so
you
good.
wear your bloomers underneath it.
More coffee, country, and Cody is on WSM.
We welcome to the Assembly Food Hall stage, soon to be called Mama. For now, she is still the corn queen all over the world. And our longtime friend, Hailey Whitters, good morning.
Good
I
morning.
feel like you need walk-on music or, like some trumpets or something.
Yes. Let's
The
go.
queen is here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just for the cutest maternity photos.
Aw,
Well, I came in the next morning and we talked all about it in entertainment, and I was like, y'all, she did them in a cornfield. Yes, she did. She stayed on brand.
Yes, that was a sweet little farm out in Whites Creek, Tennessee.
Oh.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You and Jake laying up against a hay roll with you, got your hand on your belly.
I know. Yep.
All perfect.
Oh, yeah. It was cute. It was precious. I mean, it's been a wild season dropping this record and this tour and, getting that news. And I kept it secret for a little while. A lot of people didn't know about it. So it's kind of been a sweet little secret to keep.
So when are you due?
November.
Oh, you're coming up quick.
Oh,
Yes.
Thanksgiving's going to be
Yeah,
special this year.
Maybe a Thanksgiving baby. So my dad and Jake's dad both, their birthday is November 28th, which tends to fall on Thanksgiving. I don't know if it
And
does
the
this
birth
year.
of the Grand Ole Opry, 100
really?
years ago.
It's our
Yeah,
100th
that truly
year
is the birthday. Yeah.
Wow, this
Yeah.
is
I
a
mean-
special day. This is meant to be.
Yeah.
No pressure,
We're
but
throwing this out here.
We
Wow.
had WSM on October the 5th, 1925, and the Opry came just a few weeks later, November the 28th, same year.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I mean, if you do have the baby on the 28th,
We've got to name it Opry, right?
you got to. You don't have a choice at that point.
No, not only that, she will have to give live birth first ever on the Grand Ole Opry stage.
Whoa.
Let's do this right.
You can think about Minnie or Pearl
That is
or any of those
wild.
names, you know.
Yes, that is wild. I had no idea.
That's awesome.
Well, new album, Corn Queen. Tell us about the picture over your shoulder there.
So this is a butter bust, which is very Midwest core.
Yeah.
I learned, well, I'm from Iowa, and the state fair every year has a butter cow. So I wanted to do something with the butter cow, but then I was hanging with some dairy princesses up in Minnesota, and they told me that when you become the dairy princess, which is like a 4-H thing, they sculpt your bust out of butter, and I'm not kidding you. They pulled open the deep freeze. All these dairy princesses from the county were there, and they all have their own deep freezer just for their butter bust. And the gal that I was with, she literally pulled it out, put it on the gingham tablecloth, the supper table, and just nicked off a little piece of it, put it on the table, and we all ate our sweet corn. We all buttered our sweet corn with the butter from her butter bust. And you know, my family, we didn't do cows. Dad does corn and soybeans. So I guess this may be as close as I'll ever get to being royalty, Midwest royalty. But I thought if we're naming the record Corn Queen, I think this is the butter bust moment.
Well, I have to tell you, it's very flattering. It's a beautiful for
Good.
butter. It's very beautiful.
Good, because you wouldn't believe, I mean, I got probably like 3 calls from my label. Are you sure you want to make your album cover your face in butter?
Yes.
And so I'm really glad you think that, Charlie.
Yeah.
It worked out.
I
So-
think it's fantastic.
Talk about Kellogg's and your endorsement here that we see.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I mean, I just
It used to be Wheaties, right? Everybody wanted to be
Right.
on the Wheaties box.
Yeah, all the athletes, and I am definitely not an athlete. But I mean, when I was thinking up, fun partnerships for this record, this was at the top of the list. Like, we have to do something with cornflakes. And we reached out. It was kind of a Hail Mary thing. I totally did not really expect to get a call back, but they loved the idea, and an illustrator on their team did that whole, me with the corn crown and all that. And it's so cute. My Hy-Vee, which is the equivalent of like our Kroger in the Midwest, they called and they are wanting to put it on the shelves now. So it's really cool. I love it.
And you've got you have your Corn Queen tour dates on the side of the
Yes.
box over here too. so
Yeah.
that's terrific.
Yeah,
That's
we're
so
going
cool.
out there. We're
And,
getting out there.
Kicking it off at the Palace.
Yes, tomorrow night.
Oh, this is going to be so fun.
It's going to be great. I mean, it's kind of like the perfect fit for a tour called Corn Queen.
Truly.
The Nashville Palace.
It'll do the times. You said 6:30 doors.
6 o'clock doors, 7:30 Jade Eagleson goes on, and I'm on at 8:30.
Now, have you worked up any line dances yet?
I haven't.
Because I'm just going to tell you, Palace right now is rocking with some line dances.
That's right.
It's coming back.
Okay.
So choose whichever song, work
Yeah.
it up, and maybe that's the
Break
next
it
thing.
out. I love that. We might have to do that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You got to take me back Labor Day weekend, because last time I saw you at the Opry, we were very excited that one of the upcoming tour dates was going to be Field of Dreams.
Oh,
Yes.
Right? So- and that's so close to
Oh,
home.
yeah.
So what was that like? 'Cause
It was pretty
Tim McGraw
wild.
was there, right? Obviously, right?
Tim McGraw?
Yeah.
Tim McGraw headlined. It was
Yeah.
the first time they'd ever done a big show like that at the Field of Dreams. It was so iconic. Like, just the cornfield, the diamond, the house. It was wild to see.
Any idea how many people?
20, they said over 20,000.
Wow.
I think they sold like 21,000 tickets or something. But it was just, I mean, you can't beat a vibe better than that. Just the middle of a cornfield, weather was perfect. You got crickets going. Tim McGraw's about to take the stage. Like, it was really good. I hope they continue that, because it was a pretty epic.
Did your family get to come?
Oh yeah. All my family came, they're all wild. They love to cause a ruckus out there, It was my nephew's first country concert. He's 2, and it was so cute to watch him. Yeah.
Well, that's the perfect place, though, for a 2-year-old. Let him play.
Yeah.
Let him run.
He had 4 ice cream cones.
Oh,
He was
What I'm
going
talking
for
about.
it.
Yeah.
Going for it.
All good things.
So your new album, Corn Queen, which we have referenced, features Charles Wesley Godwin, whom we saw and heard here just a little
Yeah.
bit ago, Molly Tuttle, The Wilder Blue, and your longtime collaborator and your hubby, and the father of your child, Jake.
Yes, yes.
Where did the two of you meet first?
Actually, we met in a class at Belmont, but we're both from Iowa. Oddly enough, our hometowns are 45 minutes apart.
Wow, but you
So
didn't meet until you came.
We had to come
Nashville.
all the way to Nashville.
Did your
to
high
meet.
schools play each other ever?
No,
Okay.
they didn't play each other, but we were like close enough where we played like other schools
Okay.
that were playing each other and whatnot. But it's pretty wild. Yeah. And we've been together, 14 years now. So back when I met him, he wasn't in the music business. He was rolling sushi. Thought he wanted to be in entertainment law. And I got a pub deal. And he saw that and was like, that looks like fun. I want to get in the music business. So then he got his first job, and he's kind of worked his way up. And now he just relaunched Lost Highway Records. Wow. So, yeah.
Can he still do sushi?
I was getting to
Still does sushi.
Man, I do love some sushi.
Man, he is a great sushi roller. His fun fact, he rolled sushi for Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Back in the day, she came
Virago?
into, this was actually at Zumi
Okay.
in
yeah.
Hillsborough Village. And he rolled sushi for her, and she sent a note that said, compliments to the chef.
Oh, that's awesome. My
Yeah.
wife used to work at Virago, and there are
Really?
a lot of music business
Yeah,
folks in there,
he
too.
did work at Virago for a minute.
Yeah,
I wonder if they
were
worked there
so
together.
close. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Well, we're going to set up a white limousine. Give us a backstory. Watch it for people who are on Circle Country Television.
Yeah.
They'll be able to see it. And, of course, hear it all over the world on WSM.
Yeah, this is kind of a wild card on the record. It totally doesn't sound like anything I've ever done before, but I always love to slip one of those in, because I just think it shows a different side, and people aren't expecting it, and this just has a really dreamy, easy feel to it. I love it.
That's Hailey Whitters. She's on the Assembly Food Hall stage. Guest on Coffee, Country, and Cody.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And Hailey Whitters on the Assembly Food Hall stage this morning. Getting caught up on a lot of things going on in this lady's life. I was just reading an article in People magazine that was talking about your pregnancy. And if I can find it, pull it back up here. It was about, they said it had been a bumper crop of babies in country music. Making obviously a cornfield reference there. But it had Dan and Shay, and it had Travis Denning, and it had, all these, Hillary Scott
Yep.
from Lady A.
Yeah.
All these references to people who had
Jordan Davis just...
Hardy,
yeah.
Hardy
I
was
guess
the
he's
other
a
one.
few months old now.
mentioned in the article.
Cole's
yeah.
baby is due any day now. I
Lauren
think.
Elena.
Yeah, Lauren's baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There is a bunch.
I really think, and we've said this before, but if somebody was smart, they would open up like a daycare on the road where they just follow you in a bus,
That would
a
be
separate
nice.
bus, and when you guys are performing, take the kids, take care of them.
That's a smart business
And
idea.
they roll around town to town, follow everybody on tour.
That would be a smart idea.
Just saying. We'll put it out there.
Well, you know what, Lauren, she still performed so far into her pregnancy. I was amazed how well she could still, because it's physically challenging to
You
sing.
can't breathe. Yeah.
it's amazing what that'll do to you, right?
Yeah. Gasping for air in between lines.
What's the hardest song to sing while pregnant for you?
Oh shoot. I feel like, Prodigal Daughter is kind of hard because it's just there's a lot going on in that song. I feel like and I have a song called Shotgun Wedding Baby actually on the record, and I notice I'm always like gasping for air. And one point in the chorus, I'm always like, breathe. Started to cut a few words out,
Sure.
Ain't got time for them wordy lyrics anymore.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Will you share the bat story?
The bat story.
And the rabies thing?
Oh goodness,
That's
yes.
the nuttiest thing I have ever heard.
That was wild. So I was back home in Iowa. I was with my sister. I was at my sister's house, and I crashed on the couch at her house. Both my sisters live together, so they have the bedrooms, and I sleep on the couch. And apparently, this bat flew in the fireplace, which is right by the couch I sleep on, and found its way to my sister's bathroom toilet. And she got up to pee in the morning and she didn't have her contacts in. She didn't really see. And she sat down and she peed, and then she got up and she went to go flush and saw this bat just chilling in the toilet bowl. And she came down and got me. She was like, Hailey, there's a bat in my toilet. And we went up there, and I think she trapped it in something. We were like, what in the world? And then she went to just a walk-in clinic, or her boyfriend at the time, his mom was a nurse or something, and she was like, you should probably go see somebody. And she was like, they told us everyone who was in the room that the bat could have been in should get rabies shots, because apparently a bat bite can be very, very small. Like you could not even feel it. It's just like a little prick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I had already flown home. I was back home in Tennessee, and I went and I tried to get this dang rabies shot, and they're harder to get than you think. You know what I mean? And I remember
What's a girl got to do to get a rabies shot?
The person at my clinic when I went, he was like, so you want a rabies shot? And looked at me like it was like I was crazy, because he was just like, this isn't really a thing anymore. But then other doctors were like, oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. You should definitely get the vaccine for it. So it's like a series of 5 or so shots. I can't remember. But there's a clinic in Hillsborough Village, Vanderbilt something. That is the place to go. They have it on hand. You can get it. Lord, that was a journey.
When I was a kid, they used to scare us to death about animals and rabies out in the country.
Yeah.
They said, you get the rabies. You have to get shots.
Yeah.
In your stomach.
In your stomach.
In your stomach.
I was about to ask.
Are we still giving them in the stomach?
I remember. It might have been in the stomach, but now I'm like, my thing is now I guess I'm immune when if I'm on Tyler Childers' biting list. I already got my rabies vaccine, so you're gonna have to come up with something else, Tyler.
Congratulations on your life. Was it 13 years in a 10-year town for you?
Oh, shoot. Now, yeah. Lord, at the time it was. I think I'm coming up. I moved here in 2007. What's that math? I'm pregnant.
Almost.
Don't look at me.
Well, you're like, what?
And I've had a rabies shot.
18 years? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's
coming up on almost 2 decades.
When
Yep.
did Black Sheep come out? Because that was the first time you and I met.
That came out, I think, in 2015.
Okay. So we've known each other at least a decade.
Yes, we have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to close with you and Molly Tuttle, who's
Yes.
featured on your album, along with the Wilder Blue and Charles Wesley Godwin I referenced earlier, and Jake Gear, your husband. But Prodigal Daughter, give us the story. We're going to close there.
Yeah, I wrote that with Brian Simpson and Paul Sykes, and we just got kind of weird one day. And I love Molly Tuttle. During the pandemic, her and Billy Strings, and I was just going back and forth listening to them, and I just love everything about her. She's so talented. She is so nice. And when this song came up, I remember in the room being like, I want to ask Molly if she'll jump on this one, and she did, and she killed it. And so, yeah, this is Prodigal Daughter.
All over the world. Thank you again for getting up early and coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Keep us updated on that baby.
Will do.
Yeah. Thanksgiving. That's
Opry baby.
Opry baby.
That's what we're booking on November the 28th.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
So most of you know, even if you don't play it, that the Powerball is over $1 billion. And I heard that your odds are 1 in 294 million on the way in this morning.
But we got like 330 million people in the U.S., so I think I got a good shot.
So
I live in the right country.
So James Gregory, the funniest man in America, was the first guy who popped into my head when I heard the news story. So 1 in 294 million. So today is going to be the day.
So you're saying
And
I got a chance.
the list of the following people can kiss my... I always loved that when he would do that about the
And he used
Powerball.
to talk about, well, it's only up to $1 million, so I'm not going to play it till it gets
Oh, that's
higher.
right. My
Yeah.
parents were that way.
Yeah, it's only
like,
$1 million.
we don't
That ain't
Yeah.
no count. That ain't no count.
He'd say, I ain't going to fool with it.
Yeah. Well, what would you do if you won? I'd probably put a new roof on the house. Like, that's
Yeah.
the kind of stuff.
Fix the Buick and put a new roof on the house.
Fix it. That's it. All right. Well, if anybody does win, hey, call us because, we are your friends.
No, I
and
think we're on the list of people who can.
we'd love to hang out with you. Oh, I love Russell Dickerson so much. He's just added more shows 2026. If you didn't see WrestleMania, don't worry. You got a better chance. He's adding all of these shows into next year. He said, we ain't done yet, baby. Put it on Instagram. Get ready. WrestleMania is returning in 2026. Nico Moon and Dasha will be out with him It's going to be so much fun. Of course, Blue Tack Homies refers to Russell's fan club. I didn't know that was the fan club, but apparently it is. So they got their tickets first because they went on sale. And then the public sale goes on Friday. If you missed it, as we said, more shows are coming. And by the way, congrats to Russell. You know, I mentioned that Kelsey Ballerini popped up with the Jonas Brothers. So he also was with the Jonas Brothers. That one was in Detroit. He got to walk out and do Happen to Me in front of that huge crowd, and it was amazing. Well, when you have a tour like WrestleMania, if that's the name of the tour, you got to kind of live up to it. Here's what Russell said.
I can't have a tour called WrestleMania and be flabbing around up there. And inspired by Hulk Hogan, obviously, I ripped my shirt off at the very end. I don't want to give it away, but I do. Yeah, so I'm like, we got to get it right, get it tight. So I did, got a trainer and focusing more on I don't like being healthy. I feel amazing. I enjoy eating well and lifting and all that.
Get it right, get it tight. Russell D working out with a trainer, and we can confirm we've seen him in person. He's got the guns.
Yeah, but
so
you sell a few million records and you go flab.
He said I can't be flabbing around up there, which made me laugh. I was like, that's great. I remember
seeing John Michael Montgomery at his peak. I think it was on Letterman, and they had his picture up on where you guys had your y'all access.
Times Square?
Times Square,
yeah.
Thank you. And they were showing it on Letterman, and somehow the whole thing about you're so busy and your eating habits get bad and you start gaining weight at a time. That's the last thing you want to do. And something about sizing and all that came up, and John Michael says, I've given up. I just buy the next biggest size.
Oh, there is something to be said for that. There is something to be said for that.
Once you get tired of working out, Russell, just buy the next biggest size. It's been done before.
It's fine.
Yeah.
The band Perry is back. They are working on new music, but in the meantime, to hold everybody over, they are going to be releasing a remastered version of their self-titled album. The band Perry Remastered is coming out. It was originally released in 2010. It is certified platinum, selling more than 1 million copies. Of course, it had If I Die Young on there, which was just the chart-topping multi-platinum song. So the trio has changed a little bit. Now it's Reed Perry, Kimberly Perry, and her husband, Johnny Costello. So they're working with Dan Huff, putting out a new album with Big Machine. That's not going to be out for a while. In the meantime, enjoy the band Perry Remastered.
So exit brother, enter husband.
Yes.
Should be a great Thanksgiving.
I mean, I think the brother was okay with it. I think he was like, I'm out. I'm done.
He was good with going?
I think so.
All right.
I think so.
They look so young
They
on that
do.
album. And it's a very 80s kind of look.
And it was 2010.
Yeah.
Look at all that hair.
Wow.
So much hair. Okay, well, we went from Russell Dickerson working out to extra value meals at McDonald's. They have returned. They're making people happy once again. $5 meal deals are back. Now they've added the sausage egg McMuffin for breakfast. That is with hash browns and a small coffee for $5. $8 Big Mac meal includes medium fries and a medium soft drink. They have 8 different extra value meals options, so you can pick and choose. The crispy chicken sandwich is on there, in case anybody was wondering, and a 10-piece chicken nugget, which will probably be my go-to. So you can either work out and be like Russell or go to McDonald's and be like us.
Or win the Powerball, $1.3 billion.
And do both.
That'll take care of a lot of
And not
things.
be here tomorrow.
That's right. Would you still go to the Opry if it happened, Charlie?
Of
Would you
course.
still go to the Opry tonight, 7 o'clock?
All the men in black.